Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Dee and this is Dee's Reading Lounge, where I'm sharing my love for reading at my own pace. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you all my big books. So I used to be that type of girl who was very intimidated reading like books more than, I would say, 300 pages. But since I've gotten back into my reading journey, I think I have read over 500 pages, and it wasn't really that bad because it kept my interest. So these books are over 500 pages, and I am very interested in reading each one of them. I don't know if I'll be able, probably not, to be realistic, read them all in 2025, but more than, well, no, these are pretty new books, I would say. Only one book in this pile that I'm going to show you is on my backlisted TBR, and so I'm going to try to be reading at least that one and one more this year. If I get to another one, great. If I don't, that's fine, because I have so many books, y'all, and I just cannot sit here and read books greater than 500 pages every month. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The first book, I've already read this book. I read this book in January. This is Cane River by Lolita Tatamy. And this book actually has, I am including the epilogue in this page count number, and also like the preface, because I like to read the epilogue and like the foreword or the preface, or even like the author's note, because, well, maybe not the author's note. Preface or the introduction kind of just sets up the book, and the epilogue kind of wraps things up if the book was, left at a somewhat of a cliffhanger. So Cane River, with all of, not including notes or anything like that. So this book is 522 pages, and that includes like also the acknowledgments that kind of goes into like more details that she wants to share. And also she's got a section called the inevitable telling of Cane River. So I don't think that I read that part of the book. Anyway, so Cane River by Lolita Tatamy is a saga about 4 women, and it starts from slavery, that starts with Elizabeth, to emancipation. After emancipation, the youngest, Emily, and it just tells their story and how each woman handles their particular place in society while in slavery, post-emancipation. It was very good. I read this so quick. I read this like in 4 days. It was a page turner. It was just a good book. It was a good book. All right, so that is Cane River. Next book I have, this is considered a classic, but this one is by Alexandra Dumas, and it is The Count of Monte Cristo. And the reason why I was drawn to this book, even though I knew it was over, this one is a big daddy. It's over 1,200 pages, y'all. So if I decide to read this one, I probably will read like one half, 1 month, and then the other half at some other point. I don't think I have the attention span, unless this book is a page turner. It may be, I don't know, to sit down and read this in one go, okay? This book is the epic tale of wrongful imprisonment, adventure, and revenge in its definitive translation. Thrown into prison for a crime he has not committed, Edmond Dantes is confined to the grim fortress of it says if. There he learns of a great hoard of treasure hidden on the Isle of Monte Cristo, and he becomes determined not only to escape, but also to use the treasure to plot the destruction of the 3 men responsible for his incarceration. So the revenge aspect of this book, falsely imprisonment, and the story that goes along with that. And it's a classic. This was first published in 1844. So I'm very interested in reading this. The next book is totally opposite of that book. This is called Demon's Dream. And this book is approximately 747 pages. I heard it's a page turner because it's a considered dark romance, urban fiction. And I was just very intrigued because people who have read this book really seem to like this book, even though, I'm not usually drawn to urban fiction or reading things like this, this one definitely piqued my interest. So this one says Demon Montana, which is a person, okay, clawing my way from the depths of hell to haunt the nightmares and steal the lives of many. I earned the name Demon, hardened by a life that no one should live. I had rules that governed my existence. No caring, no intimacy, no love. And then I saw her dream. So that's all I'm going to read. It sounds like a dark romance. And so, yeah, that's Demon's Dream. All right, so the next book is Stamped from the Beginning. This is the paperback version. I used to have I still have it. I'm just unhauling it. This is approximately 511 pages, well, including the acknowledgement, 515 pages. So Stamped by the Beginning is written by Ibrahim Kendi. This one has been on my back TBR list for a long time. And of course, I have been putting this one off because of the size and the nature of this book. It's nonfiction, which I do love history. It just explains how things happen with anti-Black thinking. It says it's entrenched itself in the fabric of American society, anti-Black thinking that is not solely through ignorance, but through a rationalization of inequity in just institutional practices. So I'm sure I'm going to learn a lot if I don't already know the type of things he's talking about as far as institutional practices, such as like banks back in the day. Even the bank that I'm banked with had a reputation of not or denying people of color, Black people, loans and things like that. I need to get to this one because it's on I think it's on my 25 by 25 list. And so I think I can do it. Hopefully it reads quick and I'm interested, it's a page turner. Those are the big books that I can definitely get through in a heartbeat if they are page turners. All right, so the next book is going to come to no surprise. This one is The Warmth of Other Suns. I want to read this one soon. I really do. By Isabel Wilkerson. This one is about the Great Migration from Blacks from the South to the northern states. And it's told like in narrative form, I've heard. So it reads like a novel. And so that should help. This one has 549 pages. And that's including the acknowledgments. So that's The Warmth of Other Suns. This one is King, A Life by Jonathan Eigg. So this one it's got the deco edges, as you can see. I love those edges. But this one is a chunker as well over 500 pages. It's 557 pages. And so I heard that this one is very enlightening, eye-opening as far as who King was, what you thought you knew about him, type of thing. And so I will be honest, I probably only know what I have, it's been put out there about him. But anyway, it says, Jonathan Eigg has pulled off a kind of miracle. Here is the king we know, think we know, and ought to know. Here is the leader, the preacher, the orator, the husband, the father, the martyr, the human being, not with melodramatic halo in place, but in all his heroic tragedy or tragic glory. Hallelujah. So that's just a blurb from Ken Burns. The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. At first I thought this was going to be a book of poetry when I just read the title because it says The Love Songs of W.E.B. Du Bois. But it's by Honoré Fanonne Jeffers. This was a chunk or two. I think this is over 700 pages. So it is approximately 788 pages. With the acknowledgments, it's 793 pages. And then some other, what is this? It's not, yeah, I guess it is included in the page count. So in total, it's 797 pages. And so this is a historical fiction. So it says, since childhood, Ailey Pearl Garfield has understood Du Bois' words all too well, bearing the names of two formidable Black Americans, the revered choreographer Alvin Ailey and her great-grandmother Pearl, the descendant of enslaved Africans and tenant farmers. Ailey carries Du Bois' problems on her shoulders. Ailey is reared in the North but spends summers in the small Georgia town of Chickasetta, where her mother's family has lived since their ancestors arrived from Africa in bondage. Who in the heck is that? Since he was a child, Ailey has fought a battle for belonging that is made even more difficult by a hovering trauma and the whispers of women, her mother, Belle, her sister, Lydia, and a maternal line reaching back 2 centuries. That's all I'm going to read. I don't think I've even read the back since I've had this book. This is a pretty new book, and so hopefully able to get to that at some point this year. We'll see. The next book is A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. And this one is 800 and, are we counting the acknowledgments? Yes, 816 pages. This one has been on, I would say, my TBR, but not physically. I've always wanted to read this one in my head. Never bought it until recently. I think I bought this in December, at the end of December. But I've always wanted to read it even before that, even when this came out. But I don't know. The cover was kind of scary, to be honest with you. I didn't know what to expect. I got a lot of lint, y'all. A lot of lint. I put on a sweatshirt and it just produced so much lint up in here. Fluff. Anyway, wish it was a way to suck it out. Anyway, so it says a little life follows 4 college classmates broke adrift and buoyed only by their friendship and ambition as they move to New York in search of fame and fortune. While their relationships, which are tinged by addiction, success, and pride, deepen over the decades, the men are held together by their devotion to the brilliant, enigmatic Jude, a man scarred by an unspeakable childhood trauma. So I heard that this one is a very emotional book. Trauma, you know, I like to read about other people's trauma and how it is dealt with. So that is A Little Life. And then I was surprised to learn that this one is over 500 pages. I completely forgot about Miss Kristin Hannah. She writes historical fiction. I probably have about a lot of her books, but this one is the highest page count. This one is over 500 pages. It's approximately 570 pages. It's about, let's see, world historical fiction involving World War II. With courage, grace, and powerful insight, best-selling author Kristin Hannah captures the epic panorama of World War II and illuminates an intimate part of history seldom seen, the Women's War. I guess how the women handled their part in the war. It says soon to be a motion picture too. So I better get to this one soon before the movie comes out. But I can't wait to read this one and get into her novel. Okay, so the next book that I have is Roots. Purchased this one back in the summertime. Roots is a classic. This is by Alex Haley. Everybody should know about Roots. I've always wanted to read this one. Did I watch the movie? Probably years and years ago. I don't remember. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. But this one is 892 or 90. Gosh. Almost 900 pages. 899 pages, y'all. One page from being 900 pages. But I do want to read this because it's a classic. And I feel like every Black person should read this book. The next one is The Other Boiling Girl. I bought this from a used bookstore because this is based on a movie. It was on Netflix, but I think they have since taken it off. But I absolutely loved the movie. This is by Philippa Gregory, and she also writes historical fiction. She writes like Victorian period novels, and I absolutely love to watch series, movies about the Victorian era. There was a lot of drama going on. And that movie was no exception. And so, you know, they always say the book is always better than the movie. That's why I bought this book when I saw it in the used bookstore. This one is 500, no, I think it's 600 pages. 661 pages, not including the author's note. Including the author's note, it is 664 pages. It also has discussion points in here as well. This was an excellent movie, and I definitely want to read this one. It's just been sitting on my shelf since I bought it, but I think how I'll probably read this one is read a little bit every day. I'm not in a rush to finish it, but just read a little bit like every day. I don't know, we'll see. So those are all of my big books. I'm excited about each and every book because I bought it for a purpose. History, some nonfiction, historical fiction, some one classic, and urban fiction. So that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you've read any of these. I'd be curious as to your take. I already know that some of you liked Demon's Dream. And if you didn't, that I watched, didn't really, you know, care for it all that much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and be blessed.